Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today I'll be doing a first round mock draft for every single team. Now, this is kind of a mix of what I think is going to happen and what I would do. It's kind of a mix of both. So there's no perfect science to it, but I'm excited to get after it. I'm going to do it for every single team. It's a first round mock draft, no trades. Let's do it. Bring it up. We are using the Draft Network. And hang on, let me get my tab going and select all. And let's do it. One round manual. So, all right, let's get this thing rocking and rolling. First overall, I think this is a no-brainer. Aiden Hutchinson. I think you can make the case for an offensive lineman, but I think they go edge. And to me, the number one edge at this point is going to be Aiden Hutchinson. Detroit's interesting. I feel like they are going to be between Kyle Hamilton and an edge rusher. I feel like they could do something silly in my eyes, it's silly, and take Trayvon Walker. Like, I think that's something that's realistic here, but I'm going to have them go Kyle Hamilton. I think, that defense, they just need playmakers on that side of the ball. You could have them go with an edge, I think, but I think it's between edge and safety, and I'll have them go with Kyle Hamilton. Dynamic player. I wouldn't look too much into the 40-yard dash time or anything like that. As for the Texans, all right, I would probably say offensive line. Ike Ekwonu, I think, is the best tackle available. I would go tackle if I were them, and really build around Davis. If they want to say build around Davis Mills, then okay, give him half a shot at least on the offensive line. Jets take the best edge rusher available, Kayvon Thibodeau. I think that would be a home run, no brainer in my eyes. Okay, the Giants, best offensive lineman available, Evan Neal, a lot of people's number one offensive lineman. That works out for them. I feel like you're between offensive tackle and quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. I am going to have them go Charles Cross out of Mississippi State, who I think is phenomenal. I don't know what their plan is at the quarterback position. I know Sam Darnold is not the long-term answer. They could go Malik Willis, but I'm going to have them go offensive line. And at pick 7, I think we're going to see Sauce come off the board here. I know edge rusher was listed as the bigger need, and yes, they do need edge help, and I think they will add that. But if you know anything about Wink Martindale's defense, he puts such an emphasis on the cornerback position, and a cap casualty is coming very soon on the Giants on the defensive side of the ball, and that would be when they trade James Bradbury. It's coming sooner rather than later, so I think they end up going with Sauce Gardner. This is where things get interesting. We could see the first wide receiver come off the board here. I could also see an edge rusher coming off the board here. So I'm going to have them go edge and go Trayvon Walker, and then have the first quarterback come off the board and have Malik Willis go to the Seattle Seahawks to battle it out with Drew Lock, of all people. Oh, God, not the best. They could also go edge there. Maybe Jermaine Johnson's a fit there. For the Jets, I think this is an easy one. You take the best wide receiver on the board. I don't think Jameson Williams is going to be in play for the Jets due to getting over the injury, excuse me. So I'm going to have them go Garrett Wilson, who's my wide receiver 1 at this point. Then you could also see a wide receiver come off the board back to back. I think they will go Drake London, the Washington Commanders. It's going to get hard for me to say that. That doesn't hit just yet. And then the fall of Derek Stingley stops here at pick 12. Minnesota needs help in the secondary. Obviously, safety is going to be a pretty big need for them too, but there's no safety here of value, so they're going to have to wait. And then this is where I think Jermaine Johnson will come off the board. So they decided to go offensive line first and wait on an edge rusher, and it pays off because getting Jermaine Johnson at 13 would be a home run for them. As for pick 14, this one just seems so obvious. I think Jordan Davis is going to come off the board here. He just screams like interior pressure on a team like the Baltimore Ravens. I think it would be perfect for them. Now, this is where I think we see Jameson Williams go. I think he goes to the Eagles. They have 3 first rounders, so I think they could take the I was going to say have the luxury, but that doesn't really make sense. I guess take the risk of taking an injured wide receiver because they have 3 swings in the first round. So Jameson Williams is going to come off the board. I also think they take a swing at edge. Best edge rusher at this point is George Karlaftis. I still like him as a top 10 player, but the NFL, I think, values him around the middle to late end of the first round. And then I think we could see an interior defensive lineman come off the board here as well. I'm going to have Devonte Wyatt go to the Chargers at pick 17. Pick 18, this one seems fairly easy. I think it's going to be a wide receiver going to the Saints. Which one? Dotson, I think, is valued too high by this mock draft simulator. It could be Olave. I'm going to go Treylon Burks, though. I think he'd be a really nice fit in that offense. As for pick 19, we're going to go back. I know it's listing corner as a big need. I'm going to have them hold off at this point. They need to get a linebacker in here in the middle of this defense, and Devin Lloyd is the best linebacker in this class. So I think they take him at 19. Pick 20, we know how much they like Malik Willis, so I think they'd be a candidate to trade up. But since there's no trades in this mock draft, they're going to take the best quarterback on the board, which is Pittsburgh quarterback Kenny Pickett. Cornerback and linebacker, pretty big need for this team. I think just like this guy just screams Patriot to me, which stinks because I like him a lot, and I think he could end up going to the Jets. Or if he's in the second round, that rather I would like him to go to the Jets, but I don't think he makes it that far. And that's Nakobe Dean. This is another obvious choice. If the Packers don't go wide receiver now, I don't think they ever will. Chris Olave would be a home run in that offense. So I think that would be, obviously you're not going to replace Devontae Adams, but I think that would be a really nice play there. As for the Cardinals, I feel like you can go one of two ways. I feel like it's either corner or edge, which is listed as two of their bigger needs. I think I'm leaning corner, though. I'm going to have Andrew Booth come off the board here at this point. Let's go back here. Edge is listed as a big need. So is safety. So is wide receiver. So is interior on the offensive line. Man, they can go a few different ways. But I think this is where they go a little bit outside the box. We've seen them do that before. I think David Ojabo goes here. And yes, edge is a really big need for this team. And I know he got hurt at his pro day, which really sucks. But the Cowboys like to do splashy things. This is a really big swing. And it could pay off well because I think he is definitely a top half of the first round talent. Obviously, the injury is going to bump him back a little bit. As for the Buffalo Bills, I think we see them go on the interior of the offensive line. I think we're going to see Zion Johnson come off the board at this point here, which leads me to the Tennessee Titans, and I think they will address the offensive line. They could go wide receiver, but I'm going to have Trevor Penning go here. Nasty offensive tackle would just make a lot of sense. They like to run the ball, so that I think is a fit there. Buccaneers don't need much help. They're a really damn good team, but I think they will take the best corner on the board, which at this point is Trent McDuffie. Pick 28, you went wide receiver already. Could they go edge? Could they go offensive tackle? This is tough. They go Boye Mafe, Kaiir Elam. I think I'm going to go Boye Mafe at this point. I know that's a little bit outside the box, but that's where I'm going to have them go. They had to cut Zadarius Smith, so I think they're going to try to replace the edge rusher and go Mafe at the back end of the first. Wide receiver, okay. This is such an obvious need, and at this point, the speedster Dotson still being there, I think would be a home run for them. So I'm going to go Jahan Dotson at the back half of the first round there. And then they also need cornerback help. I think Kaiir Elam would be a home run. I think he's someone who goes at the back half of the first or very top of the second. So I'm going to have Elam come off the board here. I think this is where we see Kenyon Green go. I think that would be a really good fit. They still need help on the interior, and that would be a home run. And then at pick 32, to round out the first round, I am going to have Matt Corral go. Yes, he goes in front of Desmond Ridder. They elect not to take a quarterback at the top and then take a developmental guy at the back half of the first round. You still have that fifth-year option, which I think is valuable for a quarterback if it does work. But I think they're going to take a more dynamic player at the top of the draft and wait on quarterback. So I have, to recap, Aiden Hutchinson, Kyle Hamilton, Ike Ekwonu 3, Kayvon Thibodeau 4, Evan Neal 5, Cross 6, Gardner, Walker, Wilson, Drake London, Derek Stingley, Jermaine Johnson, Jordan Davis, Jameson Williams, Karlaftis, Wyatt, Burks, London, Kenny Pickett, Nakobe Dean, Olave, Booth, Ojabo, Zion Johnson, Trevor Penning, Trent McDuffie, Boye Mafe, Dotson, Kyrie Elam, Kenyon Green, and Matt Corral. So let me know. How'd I do in the mock draft? Sound off below in the comments or on social media. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll talk to you next time.